La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.
If someone did not fast on a particular day without excuse, is an expiation, a kaffara required? And the scholars differed on that. Right? The scholars differed on that because it depends on the circumstance. In general, if fasting is the most incumbent of the religious duties, is amongst the most incumbent of religious duties, and it's an expression of gratitude for, they say, the ulama try to decide, they say that the expression of gratitude for the gift of life is prayer. The expression of gratitude for the gift of sustenance is fasting. Right? The expression of gratitude for the gift of wealth is charity. So these are the fundamental things that keep us alive, right? The expression of gratitude for general well-being is Hajj, because it requires, wealth and health and safety and all these things coming together. So these are what maintains religion in our lives. So breaking a Ramadan fast without excuse through a major invalidator of the fasting requires an expiation. We detail that on Seeker's Guidance. But what if someone simply did not intend to fast? Right? They just said, I'm not fasting today. And this has become, unfortunately, many people struggle with their faith, have ebbs and flows of religious conviction, commitment, etc. If something like that happens, what I've heard the ulama say, the first thing is that if you find yourself in Ramadan not finding the urge to fast, then the first thing you need to do is you need to work on the urge to fast, right? So you need to go and talk to somebody that this is my circumstance. How do I treat the underlying situation? Number one, because that is it's above all a crisis of faith, right? Sometimes the shaitan will make us ignore the actual cause. Someone wakes up one day and says, I'm not fasting today. They wake up for Fajr or before Fajr. They participate in suhoor, say, I'm not fasting today. Now then, the shaitan says, okay, ignore the real problem, which is the crisis of faith, and go into the legalities of it. So will I have to expiate this day? It's still not even Fajr time. You could fast that day, but you're figuring out what will you have to do after. And that's dangerous. So you have to put first things first. The first thing is that at any time, if you find anything that is affecting, or you find a sign of something affecting your faith, turn to Allah, ask for His help, and then seek the worldly means of addressing that crisis. Be honest with yourself, right? Go to somebody. Sometimes it's a question of talking to a friend. There you go, Zubair, I'm having this crisis. Sister Zubaydah goes to her friend Lubna and says, Lubna, I'm having this issue. Say, okay, well, let's stay in touch, or whatever, right? Sometimes, go to someone you respect. Go to one of the scholars. And the role of scholars is to guide. Right? Often we try to be popular with the sheikh. Sheikh, like you're going to see the sheikh, so you dress up in special thobe and you get your fancy tasbih and so on. Right? Their concern isn't like how proper you look, but their concern is to help you. It's to help you. So the adab with scholars is that you go to them with what you most need to rectify your relationship with Allah. Right? It's not a popularity contest. And they've been around they've lived a little bit, so they can tell a fake, right? They can tell a fake, right? So that's not the issue. But if you have somebody you can consult and you don't take advantage of that, you're harming yourself. Right? You're harming yourself, and you're actually depriving them of their opportunity for reward. So in a situation like that, that's what we would advise. Take care of the spiritual dimension, number one. Number two, If you are confused about the legalities of it, review the actual fiqh, the actual religious guidance related to fasting. And the act of studying religious teachings itself inculcates in us a respect for the religion, a respect for Allah, a respect for the command of Allah, a respect for the guidance of the Messenger of Allah, and it's itself a declaration of commitment. You would see senior ulama, Shaykh Adib Kallas rahimahullah, was in his 80s. Someone would come with a basic text and he would open it with the enthusiasm of a kid. Why? Because this is the gift of guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us always connected to this gift of guidance that has come, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes as being that which gives us life. Answer the call of Allah and His Messenger when they call you to that which gives you life. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.